Good morning, everyone. It is the boss herself. Let me share to my groups. How are y'all doing today? It's early, so I don't expect a bunch of people to be on here, but I'm going to give y'all the tea anyway, and if you watching live, let me know. Say good morning. Don't be rude. Say it back. Let me know if you guys are watching the live or if you're watching the replay. Let me know. All right. That's it. Okay. And let me know y'all watching so I can know if my sound is working. Is my sound working? Can y'all hear me? Let me do a mic check. I gotta do a mic check. Let me see. All right. I think y'all can hear me. Y'all being shy. Y'all ain't saying nothing. But it's all right. We gonna keep going. I know it's early. Y'all like, girl, I ain't even coherent yet, and you on live talking about how to get paid to be you. Because guess what? We get into this money regardless. All right. So my name is Lee Campbell. I am the founder of Baddie Boss University. I've made over $300,000 with digital products. I have had less than 1,000 followers when I did this. So I understand that it's all about showing up as your authentic self, okay? So making money online is not complicated. It doesn't take, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be famous, you don't have to be popular. All you got to do is be you. You got to be consistent. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being ghetto. But all you got to do is be consistent and be your authentic, true self. Hey, Quincy. So how do you do that? Sometimes we feel something called imposter syndrome, right? So imposter syndrome, hey, Charmaine. Imposter syndrome is where we don't feel confident about who we are, what we're doing, especially if we're doing something new, right? Good morning. So we're just starting something. We're just putting ourselves out there. We're reinventing, right? That's what a lot of times what we're doing in life. We're reinventing ourselves, reinventing who we were known for. And it comes, sometimes you're feeling a little apprehensive like, oh, what are people are going to think about me? What are they going to say? They're going to be like, oh, you always doing something different. You always, you said you were selling this. Now you selling that, and you doing this and you doing that. And you so worried about what these people are going to think about you that you let that stop you from shining. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gave me permission. Nobody gave me permission to come and do this live today. Social media is free. So it only makes sense that I'm going to use this platform to grow my business, because at the end of the day, y'all not doing y'all business for them folk on the internet. Correct. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I would assume you not doing this for people on the internet. You doing this for your family. You doing this for your kids. You doing this for yourself, right? So you're going to be like, all right, am I going to take their opinion, or am I going to worry about my kids and what my kids got going? Am I going to be able to pay for my kids' school tuition or whatever your reasoning for doing it? You got to remember your why. You got to remember why you're doing this, and you got to ignore anybody else who got anything else to say. Hey, April. Because the thing about it is, people are going to talk regardless, whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad. If you ain't doing nothing, they're going to be like, oh, she lazy. She don't do nothing. All she do is this, all she do is that. And if you're ambitious, they're going to be like, oh, you're always trying something new, and why you just don't go to work and have a job? Why you trying to put yourself out there on the internet? It's already people doing what you're doing. Why are you trying to do that? So again, people are going to talk regardless, whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad. So you might as well do what you want to do and not worry about what they're gonna say. Because at the end of the day, it's your life, right? I remember my story. My story is when I've been making money my whole life. I know it sounds funny, but literally since I was 7 years old, I started making my own money, okay? Ask my mama, I've been hustling since the sandbox, for real, for real. And so I'm 7, I'm 10, I'm walking dogs, I'm babysitting, I'm selling t-shirts at 13, selling candy, selling Powerades at the school, at the high school. You get what I'm saying? So I've been making my own money my whole life. And when I got my first job at 16 years old, I was like looking at my check like, what the hell is this? You feel what I'm saying? Y'all ever felt like that? Like you've been making your own money, so when you finally get a job and you see all them taxes they taking out, you start seeing, you know, you making $6 an hour. And I was working at a daycare, so I was working with them badass kids. Hey Bianca, I was working with them badass kids making $6 an hour. I'm telling my age. But and so I was like, nah, this the scam right here. You know, the job was not the job was the scam. And so yes, Bianca said facts. Exactly. So been making my own money my whole life. And then when I finally, you know, I was 18 years old, y'all. I was 18 years old and I got my first big girl job. I was working at a bank and I was working there full time. Good morning, Leslie. I was working there full time. Hey, Savannah. With your feet pics, girl. We got to talk about that. Talk about somebody getting paid to be her, shouted. But at 18 years old, I'm going to my big girl job in the city. You know, I thought I was, you know, Drake said, I heard she a student working weekends in the city. So I felt like that he was talking about me. And I was working 40 hours. I was working 40 hours a week. It was my first full-time job. And it was my last full-time job because it was not for me. Okay. It was not for me. It was not it. I was not happy. At this point I'm making $12 an hour, right? I thought I was rich at 18, making $12 an hour, 40 hours a week, but I was miserable. Okay. I was miserable at that job. I was the youngest person there. And I could just see my life in the people I was working with. They was all older, like 50 years old. And I was like, I do not want this to be my life. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be my life. The office gossip, you know what I'm saying? Like the most exciting thing happening at the job was, oh, it's Veronica's at 20th anniversary and we're having cake in the break room. Like that was the most exciting thing happening. Hey there, Shanna. So I'm 18 years old and I'm like, I do not want this to be me. I've made my own money my own way. So I don't feel like I need to work a job to have money. So that was my last time. I felt like I retired at 18 and I retired from the full-time working force, and I never worked a full-time job again. And then but I did work for corporate. So any of my corporate baddies on here, let me know. You know, corporate, it's a good job. It's a good job. You got benefits. You got, you know, you drinking the corporate Kool-Aid, baby. They taking good care of you. And honestly, I was happy at my job until I wasn't, right? Some of us like our jobs. We love our jobs until we don't. And then I felt like I was in prison. Okay. It went from feeling like I was in college to feeling like I was in prison. And I worked at this beautiful office. I mean, it was Atlanta, y'all. We was in Atlanta and it was this high rise. I was on like the 50th floor eating hibachi. I'm just playing, but I would stare out that window and be like, I want to jump out this damn window. Okay. I would jump off this damn balcony, y'all, because I was so miserable. So that's my story. And that misery made me say, you know what? You know what, sis? You need to put a plan together. You feel what I'm saying? You need to put a plan together. Because what had happened was this was really the kick in my ass that I needed. Hold on, what you say, Savannah? I swear, I don't care what the job is. I get irritated as soon as I get there. Spend most of the day there. They gotta come home and work some more. If you have kids, man, this ain't it. For real. For real, for real. So it's like that job, you appreciate the job, no lie. It pays the bills, but I always knew, like I said, I've been making money since I was a youngin'. So I knew I could do it. I just didn't know how. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't know what to do. So I would spend all my time on the internet. Hey, Margaret, literally like how we do. I spent all my time on the internet, but I was looking for a way out. I was looking for a way to get out of prison. Okay, y'all seen that show Prison Break? I was looking for a map. All right, like Shawshank. How am I gonna get up out of here? And I would follow blogs. I wasn't really on social media. Like, I was on Twitter. I tell y'all, I be on Twitter. But I really learned for real what to do. Reading people blogs. Like, reading people blogs, they would be like, get on social media and start giving out tips, right? So this is still how to get paid to be you. So he would say, give out tips about what you know. So if you know makeup, give out makeup tips. If you know how to do hair, give out how to do hair tips. If you know how to, whatever you know, start creating content about what you know. You know, and it doesn't even matter if you feel like it's weird, don't nobody want to know about it. Because I was writing about men. Okay, I was writing my adventures as a city girl. Hey Tierra, hey Denise. So my adventures as a city girl, I was writing about that, and that ended up turning into a book. I ended up turning my blog into a book. So I have a book on Amazon called Bae, The 3 Types of Men and How to Love Them. But anyway, so once I put out that book, and I tell y'all, it took me 3 years to write that damn book. We could go write a book with ChatGPT in 30 seconds. It took me 3 years to write that book. And when I wrote the book, I realized, okay, I got something to sell. You feel what I'm saying? I had been doing services. So if you do services, you understand. But once I had a product that could sell itself, when we talk about making money in your sleep, I had a book where it could sell itself and it could make money in my sleep. And once I got it online, because at first I would print the books out on Amazon. I would print them out and I would sell them. I'd go to pop-up shops. I'd go to bookstores. I'd post them online. So then I would ship them out, right? I'd go to the post office. I enjoyed that for a minute. Then started feeling like a job again. It started feeling too much like a job. COVID happened, right? So COVID happened and started making it very, very hard to ship certain things. I couldn't go to the bookstores anymore. There weren't any pop-up shops, you know? So I started focusing completely on digital products, completely on online stuff. It wasn't that I wanted to do that. It was that it was necessary. Otherwise, I was going to go out of business. So that's why I am, you said same. Yes, that's why I am Team Digital Products, because it saved my life. I wasn't looking for it. I just realized, okay, I was very much in person. Like, I'm an in-person type of person. I have networking events. I'd be at conferences. Like I said, I'd be at the pop-ups. But when COVID happened, I couldn't do it. So I had to pivot and shift my business model to digital products. And it was the best thing I ever did in my whole life. So when I come on here and I try to get y'all to, you know, create your own ebooks or even resell mine, because I have 50 that you can resell, it's because I actually live it. I actually live it. I actually do it. It's real life. And there's a market for it. There's a market for any idea you have. If you want to teach people how to mate rabbits, if that's what you want to do, but you can find somebody that wants that. Okay. All right. It's a market for anything online, you know, and the best thing about online is you're not limited to one place. You can make money anywhere. I don't know if Akani on here, but she's in Ghana right now. We over here chatting it up. I'm like, girl, you need to do this, you need to, you know what I'm saying? But she's all the way in Africa, and we're talking about something. I'm texting my team there in the Philippines. I'm texting my website guy, he in Pakistan. I'm texting my app guys, they in India. You feel what I'm saying? So we internationally known on the microphone, okay? So that's the beauty in digital products, is that it connects you with the world, and you're able to make as much money as you want. Okay, so nothing is limiting you. You're not limited by how many hours you're awake, right? Because we only alive so many hours. But if you can make money in your sleep, you create something once, you could run an ad, you could post on social media, you could schedule your post, and all of that could be going on while you out with your friends, with your kids, at your job. Because even if you have a job, that's an even more beautiful way to stack extra money. Stack them savings up. You want to buy a house, stack that up. Your job pay your regular bills, and then your digital products or your side hustle pay, for whatever else you got going on. Hey, Ebony. So that's what I want to tell you guys this morning about how to get paid to be you. Is you have to, first of all, own your story. I just told y'all my story, but I didn't tell y'all how I left my job. This is how I left my job for real. I didn't try to leave my job, but what had happened was I went on a cruise, okay? I went on a cruise, and I ain't have no PTO, right? But baby, I was going on that cruise regardless whether I had PTO or not. So, because typically my manager, when I had my good manager, he'd be like, okay, you going, I'ma approve it. It's fine. But this other girl, she was a hater for real. She was like, oh no, you're denied. You can't go on that vacation. Da da da. I'm like, boopy, I'm here. Like, I'm going on the vacation. I'm already here. And so when I came back to work, I had got written up. And at that job, if you got written up, you basically fired. Like, you might as well just quit, So, I got written up after I had been there almost 7 years. And if you did, when you got written up, if you did anything, like you came back from the bathroom 2 minutes late, you was done. You was fired. So I was just like, okay, I got to start thinking of my exit plan. Hey, Connie, I was just talking about you, girl. I got to start thinking about my exit plan, because I'm about to be fired at any given moment. So that's where I started to say, you know what? Let me go hard with my business. Hey, Maya. That was it. I said, let me go hard with my business, because I don't have no choice. I don't want to go find another job. I can't go high. Like, when you got written up, you can't even get another job. You know how you might be at your job and you're like, oh, I'm going to get a higher paying job. No, they're not going to hire you. Once you got that little red flag on your profile, I was done with. So I was like, all right. And then another thing that motivated me to really go hard with the business was when I went on that cruise, I had saved up money, right? But when I came back, I was so broke. Like, I had spent all this money on the cruise, preparing, buying clothes, getting your hair done, spending money to go to the cruise, spending money while you're on the cruise, them drink packages. I didn't have a drink package, so I was buying it like a la carte. Getting there, the flight, the rental car. I had spent all that money. Then when I came back, I had missed a week or two of work. So I was extra broke. So I was like, man, this not no way to live. I'm too smart for this. Some of y'all too smart to be in y'all situation. I'm too smart for this. I'm too about it for this. I got to figure out how to get this business to make money no matter what I'm doing. Making money while I'm on the ship, while I'm on the cruise, while I'm asleep. I should be making money all the time, because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur-minded person. So when we talk about passive income, that's exactly the goal. How can we make money without working? Because who said that? Was it Charlie Munger or Warren Buffett who said, if you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you will work until you die? And I don't like to work. okay? I don't like to work. So I feel like if you are a entrepreneur-minded person, it's your time to use your mind, okay? Use your mind to make money. Not just your labor, not just your time, right? Because time is limited. I don't care who you are. You got a limited amount of time, and you don't want to be, wait until you 70, 80 years old to be wealthy. You want to be wealthy now. You want to be wealthy while you young enough to enjoy it. While you in your 30s, while you in your 40s, while your kids young enough, while your grandkids young enough. You want to be able to give them the life that maybe you couldn't give your parents couldn't give you. And there's nothing stopping you except yourself. And if you need help, boom, you got me. I am a coach. I can help you. All right. I'm starting a boot camp May 1st, teaching people how to make money with digital products. All right. It's a 30-day boot camp, and you can get started for only $50. And my guarantee is that you're going to make your money back, your investment back. The total is $597. But my guarantee is that you're going to make your money back, or I'm going to keep working with you for free. So if you're interested in that, and you need help, and you need guidance, I'm offering a whole guarantee. A lot of people are like, what's the guarantee? If you do the work, you're going to make the money. If you listen to me, I'm going to be working with you, doing check-ins. I'm going to give you the digital products to resell. We're going to set up the store for you. So all of that for only $597. That's a good deal. That's a great deal. And if you're interested in that, just comment direct deposit. Comment direct deposit. Today is the last day to get started for $50. All right. Beyond that, you're going to have to pay at least half to get started. So let me know if you guys are interested. And again, own your story. That's something I'm going to be teaching you during the boot camp. It's own your story. You don't have to be ashamed. You ain't got to tell people all your business. Like, at the end of the day, you don't have to tell them everything about your life, but help them understand who you were and where you are now. Okay? Because I haven't clocked in. Beyond saying all of this, I haven't clocked into a job in 6 years. Okay, so shout out to me because my whole life I felt that I could do better on my own. I didn't have to work for nobody. I didn't have to clock in no job. And so it took I started working at 16, so I was 28. Okay, so I was 28. It took me 12 years of trying, you know what I'm saying, before I figured it out. And the answer was digital products. The answer was creating a book. That was the answer. So if I could, if you feel like you got a book in you and you want to write it, do that. Use ChatGPT, write that book. Focus on your knowledge and what you know, because that can take you so far. I tell anybody, write a book for real. Write a book, because that can be your first product, or buy a book to resell. That can be your first product that it will sell itself. You don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. You've done it. Once you've done it one time, you in the game. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna let y'all get to y'all real life. Can't wait to get started with the boot camp. Thank you to all the people who have enrolled. I'm getting ready. I'm getting y'all ready. Okay. So I'm giving y'all 1 week to kind of relax, but then next week we on go mode. So I'll talk to y'all later.